Single father with daughter, discovered she has a large amount of cash and I'm suspicious. I 38 am a concerned father of a 17-year-old daughter seeking advice. Names have been changed to maintain some confidentiality. My background info: my wife passed away when my daughter was very young. I was still in college, but with the help of my parents, managed to finish college and graduate school while raising her. I've dated a few times since the death of my wife, but haven't been able to maintain a serious relationship due to my career and the responsibilities of raising my daughter. My relationship with my daughter, Sarah, has always been very good. Sarah shared my love of the outdoors, so we used to go hiking, kayaking and camping together quite often. In the last year or so, she seemed to become interested in other activities at school, so she hasn't spent as much time with me. I'm perfectly okay with that. She's growing up and coming into her own. Financially we're very secure. I've been fortunate to make a nice living in a career I enjoy, and the hours are pretty manageable. Despite that, I've tried not to spoil my daughter and make sure she understands the importance of work. In exchange for an allowance and gas money, she has to complete chores around the house as well as help our elderly neighbor, she's 90, with things like taking out the trash, getting groceries, etc. She's an A student, participates well in school activities and used to be a Girl Scout until she was 14. Honestly, I've always been very proud of her. She was out with her friends Saturday to watch a movie. I had a contractor come over to replace a couple of windows in the house while she was out. Now, I've always respected her space, and she knew about this beforehand. I ended up having to move around some of the furniture in her room and discovered a small box behind her drawers. Curiosity got the best of me and I opened it after the contractor was done, and there was about $3,000 in cash inside. That's way too much money for her to have. After the discovery, I snooped around her room a bit and found some expensive brand name clothing in her closet that I had never seen her wear before. Some were a bit too mature for my taste, but that's a discussion for another day. Since then, I've double-checked my accounts to see if she had secretly taken money from my accounts, but no. I never carry much cash on me, so she couldn't have stolen it from me. I don't think she's selling drugs, because I never found a stash in her room. She's not dating anybody as far as I know, so it couldn't be a boyfriend's money either. I haven't discussed the discovery with her yet, but I intend to do it tonight. Any advice on how to approach this subject with her? $3,000 is a lot of money for her age, and I imagine she spent more, so we could be talking about $5,000 to $6,000 here. I don't want to be too confrontational and would a way to bring up the subject so she feels safe enough to be completely honest with me. I'm so worried. I keep hoping she isn't caught up in something illegal that could jeopardize her future. Maybe I overlooked some signs? I'm freaking out and looking for your help here. Edit: my daughter doesn't have a part-time job. She does have a savings account that I opened for her with about $1,200 in it, which is why I'm worried she's keeping this money secret. She's accessed her savings account before to buy things like a new phone and camera, as well as gifts and other smaller purchases. She gets $50 a week in allowance, but if she wants to buy electronics or other things that she wants, it comes out of her savings. Any expenditure from extracurricular activities also comes out of her allowance. As for the neighbor, I've told her before that she does not have to give my daughter anything for helping out, since I'm already paying her via allowance. Edit 2. The clothing were really high-end brands, like Gucci and Versace. By mature I didn't mean revealing or anything like that, just didn't seem like clothing a 17-year-old would want/wear. Also, I know $50 seems like a lot, but we live in an expensive city. The cheapest takeout place near me costs like $9 just for lunch. As for my neighbor, she might be 90 but her mind is pretty sharp. I don't know why, but I didn't think about her slipping my daughter cash here and there, so that's a possibility. The more I think about it, the calmer I'm feeling. I'll talk to her tonight and explain the circumstances of my discovery, and take it from there.
Relevant comments. Zorkel Chorkin. You need to talk to her. I was cleaning up after the contractors left and found that box of cash under your dresser. That's a lot of money to leave lying around the house. It would probably be better to deposit that into a bank. How did you manage to save that much up, anyway? Everyone's jumping to the worst possible scenarios, drugs/prostitution/whatever, but chances are it's perfectly innocent. She may be doing more odd jobs for other neighbors. Maybe the neighbor she's helping out has been giving her tips or more money than you're aware of. The fact that it was stashed in a box in her room is nothing to be worried about. She's 17. She's probably been keeping stuff in that box since she was a kid and doesn't realize that a bank would be a better place.
OP. Thanks for the advice. This seems like a good way to start the conversation. I don't want her to think that I'm snooping around in her bedroom and invading her privacy. I've always stressed to her the importance of dialogue and honesty, So I'm hoping she will come clean and it's nothing serious.
Wambatsila. Does she work? I worked from the time I was 15 and I saved up enough money by the time I was 18 to buy myself a computer, a very nice film camera, and plane tickets/rent for an apartment. If she's been working, that's really not that much money. Either way, I think you need to just ask her about it and don't come from an accusatory place. If she responds in a secretive/angry way, you know something weird is going on. If she's calm and has a reasonable explanation for it, you know she's probably telling the truth.
Update. I was signed into this account on my laptop and noticed I received PMs asking for an update to my post. So, here it is. I had a long talk with my daughter Sarah that night. I sat her down and described the circumstances of the discovery. I explained that I was worried because it's a large sum of money and I didn't want her savings to be stolen. Well, turns out the elderly neighbor, Anne, has been giving her cash for the better part of a year now. And wanted her to have the money to help with college expenses, and told Sarah to keep it a secret from me because I've always refused to accept money from her. Sarah also told me that part of the money was her own. She had been saving up for my birthday present and didn't want to put it in the savings account because, well, she'd have to ask me and it wouldn't be a surprise anymore. Later in the conversation, I brought up the expensive clothing. Those were throwaways from her friend's mother. Her friend is really tall, so she couldn't wear them and gave them to Sarah instead. They needed some slight alteration, so she hasn't worn them yet. I apologized for snooping and explained that as a father, I was obviously concerned for her well-being. I also assured her that we are financially stable and that I've put aside enough money for her college expenses. I told her to keep an eye out for Anne, to make sure that her welfare is not affected by the money she's paying Sarah. Also, I asked her to write a thank you card to her friend's mom and to include a present for her at Christmas this year. After the revelations, I wanted to reward her for her savings habit, so I offered to start a checking account for her and we looked into the options online. Turns out, the bank I use offers a junior checking which I can co-sign, overdraft fees, etc., for her. It turns into her own personal account at 18. She'll have the use of a debit card. The bank also offers an online-based financial planning guide, so she will read that before starting the account. We're going to the local branch to set that up for her this weekend. Sarah seemed to reflect well to our talk. She took the opportunity to reveal that she has been in a relationship for a couple of months. I've actually met her girlfriend a few times before. They go to the same school and I just thought they were good friends, so that was a surprise. So yes, she came out of the closet to me. Being a dad, I still verified the clothing story with her friend's mom. Overall, I'm happy it was just me dramatically overreacting. However, I do feel rather guilty for the minor panic attack I had. As a parent, it's astonishing sometimes how quickly your child grows up. Just another part of the learning process, I guess. P.S. I didn't reduce her allowance but did encourage her to keep saving because it's an excellent habit.